Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the V8 Vet Split 3 Round 8 coming to you from the beautiful Red Bull Ring in Austria. And I am John Van Ree, and with me in the kitchen tonight, I have the one and only Hoffy, Gunter, Josh Drage, Mark Dial, Reg James, Scotty Gamble, and Scotty Perrins. How are we, boys?
Good,
Pretty good, mate.
John.
Not too bad. Quick question for you, John. Where's the salad ball? I can't find it. Where did you put it last?
That's in the cupboard up top.
Okay, thank you. I'm back in a minute.
Let's have a look at this track, because this is a track that everyone loves to hate and hates to love. And we start on start-finish straight, and we head uphill to the Nicky Lauda turn one, which looks sharp, but it's actually quite a quick corner as you go through there in third gear. And then we run up through the fake turn 2 and up to the AMS Ag corner, turn 3, where we've got to pull it up into second gear. And then we come all the way down the hill again into Rauch, where we sweep through turn 4 and then through the big sweeping turn 5 and then through 6 and 7 and then through the fast flowing 8, where we got to use all the curb on the inside into right, making sure you don't go too far out and get incident points for being off track before we come in through Red Bull corner at 10 and back through the start finish straight. Very fast track, very undulating track. And I think it'd be one of those ones a bit like Bass's. I don't think I really would like to walk from Nicky Lauda up to turn 3. I reckon she'd be a pretty steep walk uphill. Anyway, she's a tough one. And of course, a big hello to everybody out in the chat. There's already a few of you out there, so good to see we've got a few of our regulars there. And what we might do is just have a quick look at this grid, and we'll bring that up so we can have a read of it. So, of course, we've got Troy Stonestreet sitting on the grid, Dave Arney sitting in second from Pacific Esports, and then we've got Ed Cullen from Shadow Racing. He's sitting in third alongside Shane Patton from Kart Lab Cartel, and then in fifth is Sean Cullen from Team Go Slow. Joseph Grenshaw in sixth. Great qualifying from Joseph to get himself into the top 10. Awesome to see. Jim Caparonis was in seventh from Old Mates and Sons alongside Jamie Peters. In ninth was Old Mates and Sons Fletcher Christensen. Great to have Fletcher back as well on the grid. And he was alongside Synergy Sim Racing's Peter Kelleher. So Pete rounding out the top 10. Scotty Perrins outside the top 10. This one was a bit of a shock for me from Quantum Effective Performance Racing, and alongside him was Darren Friend, who is a very fast qualifier from Old Mates and Sons. And then over the page was Simon Farrington from Shadow Racing in third, alongside WKP's John Van Ree. In 15th was WKP's Andrew Galley, alongside Shadow Racing Bruce McLeod. So surprised to see Faz and Bruce so far back. Normally expect to see those boys up in the top 10. Gunter von Neudschleif in 17th from WKMP. Interesting, he was doing some very quick qualifying time, some very quick times in practice. So I was a bit surprised to see Gunter so far back down the grid. I was expecting him in the top 10 too. Darren Walden from Angry Birds in 18th. Carl Pickering from Pace Syndicate in 19th. And you'd have to be not too happy about that one, Hoffy, having him that far back.
Well, yeah, I haven't had any coaching with him for 2 weeks, so yeah, we'll see how he goes.
Yeah, and Jeff Sanford in 20th from Player One. Laurie Saunders was back from Scorpion Simsports in 21st. Adrian Zeal in 22nd. Ed Fox in 23rd from Player One. Team 126 Racing, Jeff Eddy all the way from New York out there as well, which is great to see. And then Colin Kendall, in 25th alongside Sean Slater in 26th. Then in 27th, we've got Phil Marsh alongside Matt Beale. Andrew Johnstone, my favourite Kiwi. Good morning, Andrew. Hope you're enjoying your breakfast. In 29th, Anita Buckland in 30th. Simon Clapham back in 31st. Peter Simons in 32nd. Darren Vermate was 33rd. Greg Favell was our race control. Mark Dial is our safety car driver. Anthony Visma is our secondary race control. And that then led us to Rob Vizza, Jeff Richardson, Marty Hughes, and Michael Hayes, who all didn't set a time. So surprised by Hazy. Hazy was pretty quick as well in practice. So to see Hazy not set a time, I think he would not be too happy with that. The work to be done. And Shane Patterson, yet no Baldock. Dave was a late scratching, so hopefully Dave will be back next week. It was a bit disappointing because, like the Ashes now, he can't win. But we'll go into that result later. I've got to finish first. And just get ourselves a little bit organised to get into this one, and we'll light the wick on it. What do you reckon, boys?
Good.
Yep. Sounds good.
Don't have to worry, Jeff Sanford. Gunter told me about 3 passes of the century that he kept talking about every time he passed someone. There might be 1 or 2 tonight. Yeah, we'll light the wick on this and we'll get it going. Out to go green. The green flag racing. Good start there from Stonestreet, but Dave Arney's going to get the jump. Ed Cullen on the outside. And it looks like Sean Cullen coming up the inside. Oh, Ed's just locked up the front.
Yeah.
And that's just created a little bit of carnage a bit further back here, I think. There's a few boys everywhere.
Gets a nice ride.
It looks like not too much. I think Joseph Grenshaw is the big loser there. He's the one that got spun. He's all the way back to 37th, so it's a bit disheartening for Joseph after that great start that he had. Continuing on, Dave Arney's gotten the jump on Troy. We might just shuffle back. There's a few other boys a little bit out of position with all that. Ed Cullen, he's back down 7 spots. And Gunter is up 6 spots. That's a great move from Gunter. Got himself up to 11th. What were you thinking there, Gunter, at that stage?
Stay out of the shit.
That's fair enough.
Good strategy, mate.
Good strategy. Yeah, we'll live with that.
Not always good to go in the back way, but yeah.
Good little battle. Got Ed behind you still. And Shane Patterson is under a lot of pressure from Fletcher. And like this is a really, like it looks open and fast and flowing, but it really is a tough track to pass people because a lot of your corner speeds are quick around this place. Hazy saying he picked up 10 spots in the first corner. That's about right. You're up quite a few at the moment. Up 16 already at this stage.
Yeah, you're right, John. It is a difficult place to pass, and yeah, you've got to sort of set it up and keep the momentum up so you can, get them along the straights or get them under brakes. And looks like, Jamie's got his hands full here. Looks like he's going to set it up for a pass on our favourite tennis player, Peter Callaway.
And Darren Friend having a bit of a look. Oh, crunch. A little bit unlucky there for Peter.
He came from a long way back there. I don't think he was in full control.
It was a line ball decision, I think.
Absolutely.
Fair enough. And of course, I think Peter would be pretty upset now. He's behind Gunter.
Everybody loves being behind Gunter. Some say it's the best view in the house.
Pato now, he's got Fletcher about to make a move. He's having a look. Tough part of the circuit to get it done, coming into 9. He's done a good job getting that one done there. And it's Troy Stonestreet sets the fastest lap. Into lap 2. And we start lap 3. We'll shuffle back a little bit, keep an eye on this battle. He's got this battle here with Fletcher, Christensen, Patterson, Perrins, Cullen, Sean Cullen, Andrew Galley, Faz. Definitely none of these guys settled in yet.
There's a nice little pack here of these guys, and they're just sorting out it, coming into lap 3 of where they're going to be, filling each other out. Oh, someone's around.
A little bit of a touch there on the back of Scotty, I think. From Sean Cullen. Oh, that just got a bit ugly.
Yep.
Scotty, did you leave your rear door open again?
Try not to.
I can see you tried to close it pretty quick.
Yeah, because you were coming past. I'd be closing it too.
Sean accidentally opened it for me.
Oh, tell him to get the KY out next time. It makes it a bit easier. Oh, John, you like having the back door open.
Why is that, Josh?
Was the ashtray full?
No. Empty. I just emptied it before I started.
Hey, Stonestreet's back in front of Arney now. Still. These two definitely showing good pace at the moment. It's going across the stripe there with a 130 fastest lap, a 130.98 and a 132.43. So, plenty of pace for these guys.
I had a friend called Arnie. He was from Austria too. Wonder if they're any relation.
It could be.
No one picked up on that. Seriously?
Yeah, I did.
Come on.
I did. I was just trying to think how I tied it to a flight desk. You work at a flight desk telling people to get to the chopper. I just couldn't work out how to deliver it. But anyway, we'll carry on. Lap 4 here. Might have a look at you again, Scotty. Yeah, you getting on? Where'd you end up after all that mess?
Down the back.
Long way down the back.
Yeah.
Lost your bonnet as well. So at least you haven't got like a Bay 21 logo on your bonnet there at Pecky's. So the sponsor wouldn't be too upset.
Fine.
No.
So of course when we put the Bay 21 logo on our cars, well, Scotty. Not supposed to park there, mate.
Yeah.
I'll park there, Scotty.
Come with Darren.
Everything went wrong.
So Darren Friend here, he's under a lot of pressure from Jamie Peters, Gunter, Sean Slater, Ed Fox. So a good little battle pack. Of course, Darren showing a lot of pace these days. Just has a bit of luck go his way, and I think he'll have a couple of top 10s soon.
He has been driving well this series, John. He's definitely gained in confidence and in the top 10. You know, that's where you want to be, along with Jamie, Gunther, Sean, Ed Fox. They're all there. So nice little battle pack formed.
Yeah.
It's one big party.
If you come in around Borris, there's the back of Borris there, out to the left. Borris the Bull.
But rumor has it that Arnie got him there and tied him down and said you're not allowed to move Borris. And so he stays there now.
And if you hold your hand just the right way when you're going past, it looks like you're holding his nutsack.
Fair enough. So still a good little battle pack. Sean Slater involved here as well. He's up 15 spots at the moment. Hanging on to the back of these boys.
Did you guess their weight? Hopping. You know,
No.
So they're 2.4 kilos each, not that I would know.
Is it true you've got your own scales you take with you?
Boris whispers nothing to my ear every time I see him. He brings me luck.
A big defensive move from Jamie Peters there, coming up into turn 3.
Really interesting corner, that turn 3.
We look carefully enough, but I hold my hand out the window here to make it look like I'm holding his nuts.
2.5 kilos.
Check.
What was that, Gunther? Hand out the window, camera in one hand for the selfie.
Yeah, gotta get it right.
Lush, long hair blowing in the wind.
Exactly. Signs the autographs too for the Verstappen fans. Everybody's everybody thinks they come to see Verstappen, but they come to see me.
Well, you are running the orange car.
That's exactly right.
Maybe you go on board with Adrian Seal, certainly see Gunter.
You want to see Gunter?
Yeah, we've gone in.
If you look to the left now, you see Uncle Aldorf sitting up there.
Sean's got a bit of a run on you here, or did have.
There we
Yeah, we
go.
have Gunter.
Oh, there's your
Yeah,
favourite
we've
love
got a run on
child.
him. We can see in the distance.
The bonnet and the bumper bar when three Gunters come together.
Adrian doing well here. He's up a few spots. He's up 6 spots in the 16, so he's managed to get through all the chaos of the first few laps.
Got it stopped and turned nicely there.
I was actually having a good chat with our friend Zippy there, and he was telling me that how he'd got a direct drive wheel, and he thinks a second-hand one off one of our vets, and you think he might have bricked it. So he'd gone back to the Logitech wheel this race, and we know his pedals are playing up, as you've seen there. They're flashing on and off. So sometime over the next week or two, he's going to get a special delivery of a Logitech Pro Series wheel and pedals that I've got sitting here. I'm going to go down, set it up for him, make sure he's all up and running, and hopefully he can get a couple of races in, next season and be confident of the gear he's using.
She's not a bad wheel, our Logitech wheel.
Hey.
Our Logitech Pro wheel. It's not a bad bit of kit. Keep an eye on him. How many Eckies did Gunther have to sell to afford the sponsorship of Adrian's car?
I should not say anything from the grounds that man could meet me later on in court.
Well, it's a funny story, really, because Adrian's not paying for it. He actually, sorry, I'll rephrase it. Adrian's paying for it.
Adrian's paying for Gunter.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. A certain well-known car painter in Vet's got a request, an anonymous request from a certain guy called Zippy Fly, asking him if he could put something on his bonnet for him.
Is that the best you could come up with, eh? He wears it with pride. He loves it.
He loves it, I know. Loved the hairy Cedo last season, so I'm a bit worried what he wants me to do for him next season, to be honest.
Yeah.
Lincoln and Albury Cricket Club, John Van Rey.
I was going to say, could be a picture of JVR on there.
It's going to be one of the best bonnets.
Yeah. Anyway, let's jump back a bit. Battle up here. Ed Fox still under a lot of pressure. Darren Fox, start again. Darren Friend early into the pits. So he's going in on lap 9. There's a few boys battling away here. We got Rob Viz is another one. He's down in 20. He's up 18 spots. Marty Hughes in front of him's up 20 spots. 21 spots now with the car down the lane. So definitely battling away. Twitchy there from Hughes in front of him. Definitely looks like he's got a run on here.
He's very strong under brakes. To try and get that throttle down as you come up out of there is difficult to continue the run to trying to execute the pass down into 3.
Got to be very
4,
patient.
sorry.
Yeah.
Very patient there.
We're going to be extreme. Oh, a bit deep in that one. He's got Hughes.
no.
Hughes is around.
Oh, you need to push his front end around for him. Help him out.
Oh!
Oh, no.
Oh, is that retaliation? Was that payback by Hughes?
If it was well disguised.
I think it was like, you went deep into my rear end. Here, have another look at my rear.
You almost need the Benny Hill music for that one.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, Jamie Peters, another one of the Infinity Boys. Now running in the Simsports Infinity Motorsport colours. Need to update his SDK information, Hamish.
Yes, so Roy's like, Dave Arney needs to lift. I put my Super Vets money on him, and for the race and myself, I let him down in split one last night. Well, yeah, sorry, Roy, we did make good ground. We're up there with a chance, but we won't go into that. But Arnie's definitely into a good shot here. He's going well, P2, mate.
Couple of good battles. Carl Pickering. He's in the thick of it here. With Granshaw and Anita. Anita drove really well last night. No. And a little bit loose there from Beale, I think.
Yeah, and that's something that, you know, as Hamish Munro said, Simrig's Infinity Motorsports newest driver, Jamie Peters, so he's joined the team. Jamie Peters over there. I think that's a good pickup for you guys, and he'll only improve. And yeah, he's well inside the top 10, and yeah, he's showing some good form. His first season back after a while.
Yeah, doing very well, Jamie. He's on lap 11. Of course, Andrew Galley, he's sitting in 6th at the moment. Gunter's battling away, fighting for 7th. Got a bit of a look there.
I'm all over Faz like a rash.
And a bit of a look up the inside here.
You got that power down nicely there.
It's important to control your rear end in that corner. Get it down nice and smoothly.
Now, as Dave Baldock would say, pass of the century.
Passes the century. I like to throw it up on the inside sometimes of Faz.
Anakin's in.
Was a nice pass.
Chat. And he said, hello everyone, what have I missed? And has Hoff mentioned how big the balls are on the bull?
No, he's involved well.
Yeah, sorry,
Hoff, can you please remind everybody how big Borris's balls are?
Excuse me, I'll be back in 5. I've got to give someone a big slap and...
Here we go, his performance. Don't you get upset, Roy Clark. I do know there was a contract put in front of you at a certain hotel in Adelaide. So Simon Clapham, he's under a bit of pressure from Darren Friend. These boys battling away at the back. Oh, he's lost his bonnet there. And got to check on Scotty Perrins again. Where is Scotty? No,
There's the smoke on the track.
He's got himself part Pete Keller here, so he's working forward here. Making a start here, Scotty.
Yeah, climbing back.
What were you doing at this stage, mate? Just wishing for a safety car?
Yeah.
Are you getting much performance damage from the car? Like, was the car felt damaged, or you didn't really know you'd lost your bonnet?
No, I didn't really notice. But praying on the safety car very shortly.
You worried about? Oh, Scotty! You ain't getting too worried about Pete behind you there, were you?
I don't know what happened there.
I know what happened.
Fart.
Brain fart.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
He's my other favourite mate, Mr. Jeff Sanford.
Don't worry, Scotty. I was praying for a safety car from lap 1 to lap 58.
And let's check on Mr. Hayes there. Mr. Hayes just went sideways. He's off in the grass. Good bit of room side by side there. That was a little bit of racing going around the corner there with Jeff. A little bit unlucky.
Motors down the back, praying for a safety car link.
And Zippy's under a bit of pressure from Laurie Saunders now. Bruce McLeod back in 17th. I was a bit surprised to see Bruce so far back at this stage.
Did I see him start from the pits or not?
He may have, actually.
I think he did.
I think he did too.
I feel a little bit sorry for Lawrence here because he'd be like, is he brake checking me or not with his lights flashing on and off in front of him?
15.
Of course, it doesn't do it now, but yeah, they were.
And Faz has just peeled off into the pits. It's going to go a little bit further back. Jump on to my favourite New Zealander, Mr. Johnstone.
I feel sorry for Jeff Stanford looking at that wonderful, magnificent thing in the mirror.
It is off-putting. Does psych you out. Like, if people complain about flashing lights, just have Zippy sitting behind you. And Laurie's in the pits as well with Faz. And I think, just quietly, there's Hazy. There.
Quite a few into the pits early.
Yeah. And Johnson through there, all right. Hazy's still going. I'm not sure what's going on at the moment. I got myself a bit confused.
I thought we were lap 13, but it's 15. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think with Andrew Johnson climbing the split too, and you know, next season or the season after, he's getting more consistent.
Yeah, big puff of smoke there. And that looks like Mr. Hayes has just blown his engine. And that, my friends, has just brought out the mark dial.
Is there any coincidence with Hazy blowing his engine right in front of Boris? Is he like trying to get a selfie of Boris with his balls or what?
Maybe it wasn't his engine.
Oh, exactly right. If you know what I mean, because something strange going on here.
Something else might have broke.
And you have
Those
to
who
sit
have-
there for a while.
Those who just got their pit stops done within the last lap or two will get a good advantage here, and I imagine everyone will file in for a pit stop now. Fill it all up.
I think that's what you got to do. I'm about to see a mass pile into the pits. Does the safety car have training wheels?
Didn't need them this week.
I was going to say that, Mr. Dye.
Did some laps.
Opado's in.
Tell you what, Roy's up and about tonight, isn't he?
He is.
Bradbury himself.
You find most split 2 drivers do that, don't they, Roy?
This pit stop completely stuffed my race.
Yeah. Someone, poor pin entry, wasn't it?
Poor pit entry, 40-second penalty.
Yeah.
Oh.
There's a few people.
Hey, at least it's better off doing it going in than going out.
Oh, don't tell me about 40-second penalties. They hurt.
Thank you for jumping in over the top of Gunter there, Scott.
No, sorry.
No, that was good. you stopped him. I knew it. I had a feeling what he was about to say.
You know what they say, don't mention the war.
Yep. So everyone's shuffling in. Mr. Dial, driving very fast.
Truth be known, I wanted to hang around in the pit for a party for everybody was invited.
Well, they're having a party behind the safety car here. What's going on, Mark?
You know, you can tell.
We're not the leader.
You can tell them. You know,
You know,
if you're not the lead, if you're not the lead car, don't pick up the pace car. So what does Baz do?
Pick up the pace car.
Hey Mark, just one thing. A wise man once said, push the pedal on the right, yeah? In the German automobile, push the pedal on the right, and the car move forward.
The car's moving forward. He's just waiting for the.
Doesn't look like it's from here.
He's just waiting for the.
Oh, it's finally found the pedal.
We got movement.
You can do it. Come on. Oh,
He's
it's moving again. Oh, yeah. Now stay away from the brake pedal, okay? Oh, you stopped again. Scheiße. What are you doing, man? Any slower you'll be going driving Miss Daisy around here, yeah?
Well,
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't drive Miss Daisy because Bulldog wasn't there.
So how do you go with your AMG days, Dave? You got a punter in the car like this. What would you be saying coming up the hill here, going at this speed to him?
First of all, they're in like white shorts and a white shirt with like a fake tan on or something.
Yeah,
Like,
that'd
come
be
on,
dial.
Keep going. Keep going. You can do it. Just power it out, yeah? Just nice and easy. Just nice and easy on the throttle. They're Mercedes. They practically drive themselves. It's okay. Just keep going. And at this point in time, they look at me and go, "What do you drive?" I just say, "A Hilux." And they're like, "Oh, I thought you drove a Mercedes." I was like, "Just because I work for them doesn't mean I could actually afford one." Yeah. Then it usually ends up about then when I turn around and say, "Yeah, we'll go be quiet."
And of course, a big thank you to Parramatta Izuzu Utes. This is sitting down there in Church Street in Parramatta. If you're looking for a decent ute, speaking of Hiluxes, looking for a decent ute, go check out the guys at Parramatta Izuzu Utes. I'm sure they'll be able to look after you. Highly recommend them.
I wonder if Jamie's found that sticker yet.
I wonder.
Thinking of that, the Isuzu's got a deal on at the moment for the top of the range bloody D-Maxes. They're about 10 grand off, so yeah, jump in and grab one. It's the right time. Get yourself an X-Terrain.
Definitely. Get yourself into Parramatta Izuzu Utes. Arnie's just got back from the chopper and he's in the chat, Dave.
Did the chopper drop you off at Borris, Arney, or what?
So, safety car, still out there for another 2 laps. Still got to do wave rounds.
So, rumour has it, Mark, you had the cruise control on. Is that true?
No cruise control.
Oh,
I haven't set a map. I haven't mapped the button. But yeah, this one was actually difficult because you're up and down hill all the time and you keep looking, oh shit, I'm slow. And then I'm fast, and then I'm slow.
Where'd you go, Dave?
Yeah.
I just dragged you in and you disappeared.
It's like a normal race then, Mark.
Let's jump back in the green room, Dave.
True.
There you go, John Gallen, he's already talking shop.
Yeah, well, I can tell you, if you ring around, John, and you can find from different dealers, you can find them, but there is a bit of a wait, but it's not as long as it used to be. To put it this way, I waited 1 week. So, but I wasn't too concerned on colour, and I was able to get what I wanted there and then. But yeah, there's a few people pulling out, cost of living, a few people have had to pull out of their contracts, so there's a few floating around if you look hard.
Mine's not as long as it used to be, but I'm telling you, it's worn out from self-abuse.
And how are you going, Dave?
Yeah, good, thanks guys. Yourself?
You just jumped into the middle of something, but that's all right. So what were you thinking at this stage, as you're watching Mr. Perrins go past?
Yeah, I was waiting to see what was going on with that. I think Scotty tried to sneak past, didn't he?
I did.
Yeah.
Scotty loves to sneak past when the doors are open.
Well,
Oh, where's safety car going?
Did the traction control turn off quickly, or was that lane keeping for you?
No, I thought I'd see test out the suspension on the sausage curbs.
Yeah, I bet you tested the sausage out on the sausage curbs. Or was it a bit of sweat came down? Was it a bit of sweat came down and got in your eyes with your fake tan?
So was it a bratwurst?
Or was it a Wiener Wurst?
Yeah, they're all worst.
Was it a meal or was it a snack? Because I heard you like the meals.
Yeah, I grabbed the one off the bull.
Wow, so you had the whole 4.5 kilos.
Or is it neck worse?
The rumour true? It's 12 inches all round.
I knew you'd know that.
I told you I'm good friends with Borris. Me and Borris go way back.
So a little bit of recap of the weather. So it's still 26 degrees. Track temperature is 21. It's partly cloudy, 55% humidity, and a little bit of wind. And we're racing on January the 1st, 1970.
Sorry.
Wow.
Oh, the day before I was born.
How advanced are these cars for 1970?
I heard they had weathers as well.
So technically, that can't be me in the safety car.
So this is the year after Gunter won the World Touring Car Championship.
This is why Gunter's going so good. Was. This modern technology is just screwing with my head.
Lucky we didn't swab test the driver's last night. Gunter might have been in trouble. How in the hell do I commentate races that are taking place 28 years before I was born? Marvellous of modern technology, Hamish. We have a time machine here at Vets. So, safety car in this lap. Safety car in this lap. Yes, Pato's worked it out. Steroid years. Old Gunter was born 1963, as we talked about.
Mhm.
His father, Manfred, who was a sports chemist in East Germany, and his mother, Anna Bollick.
Not far from here. I used to spend my summers here with Uncle Aldorf. We'd be on the hill with the lonely goat. With my cousin Arnie.
That's right. It's really just over the other side of the Alps from Wank, isn't it?
It is, yeah. We'd always go to Wank after dinner at Kissing.
Okay, so recap of where we're at. We've got Troy Stonestreet P1, Arnie in P2, and then we have after that Caparonis, Christensen, Andrew Galley up 10 spots in 5th, Faz is in 6th, Jamie Peters is 7th, Sean Slater up 18 spots in 8th, Van Ree is up 5 in 9th, Matt Beale sitting in 10th up 18 spots but has not pitted, Colin Kendall hasn't pitted in 11th, and then we've got Jeff Sanford, Adrian Zeal, Darren Walden, Ed Fox, Darren Friend, Simon Clapham, Joseph Grenshaw in 18th, Simon Patterson 19th, Pickering in 20th, and then Eddie in 21st. So safety cars cleared out. We're about to clear out. Where do I get to 21st? Jeff Eddie Saunders, Marsh, Ed Cullen all the way back in 24th after starting up the front. Anita Buckland in 25th, Andrew Johnstone in 26th, Pete Kelleher 27, Scotty Perrins 28, Vizza 29, Richo 30th, Darren Vermey 31st. As Mark Dial does his best attempt of accelerating away from the pack. So we're about to go green. Holding him up a very long time here. Yeah, I think Mark Dial definitely driving the Trabant. It's 1970.
Mm-hmm.
And we're away. So a good little jump here from Troy.
It looks like a nice clean start by the top 5-6 drivers.
Yep, definitely done really well. So good little jump. We've got Caparonis tucked up behind Arney. And they've got a bit of a gap out on Christensen. A little bit further back. And Andrew Galley, a little bit of a gap there. And then we go back to Faz and Peters and Sean Slater in that next little battle pack with Van Ree hanging onto the back of that group.
Someone's a little bit wide there. A little bit of a sand excursion and got it back on
Peters,
track.
yep. And needs to recover. A little bit further back, Adrian Zeal has got a couple in the wall down the back there. I think that's before Pickering. I think it might have been Ed Fox, I think. If I can get back near him. So Ed Fox is stuck there on track. He's lost a few spots. He's jumped back up the front. So Troy's... You guys got?
Yeah, I was going to say it's a long road back from there. You had to watch them all go past with that safety car, everyone bunched up. But yeah, as you're saying, Troy Stonestreet, he's cleared out. He's got a good 1 second lead here to Dave, and Jim's following on behind nicely there. So yeah, they're spread out. I was surprised how quickly the top 7 drivers are actually spread out from the start. But yeah, I'm sure they'll form up, get back in the draft, sort themselves out after this restart, and yeah, start looking to pressure the driver in front of them.
Oh, a little bit squirrely there from Andrew Galley. With lap 21. Might just shuffle a bit further back. Find. Adrian Zeal.
Up 11 positions, so there's quite a few drivers there that have made some good grounds. In front of him, Matt Beale up 18, and behind him, Sanford, he's up 8 as well, so he's in a good crowd there.
Yeah, not doing too bad.
Gotta head off, guys. Have a good night.
All right, Scotty.
Yeah, right.
See you, Scotty.
See ya.
So, Scotty.
See ya.
Car going into the pits for Adrian. Not an easy place here. You probably don't want to talk about that, Scott.
I don't want to comment, so this is where I need Gunther to sit there and stop me from speaking.
I just wanted to show everybody this awesome bonnet on it. As I went past, just like, yeah, hello, I'm over here now.
Yeah, a little bit unlucky for Adrian. And a little bit unlucky for
Matt Beale.
Matt Beale. And just, yeah, if you're ever racing here at Red Bull, doesn't hurt to key in, no, pitting in on your wheels so people know you're pitting in, or, no, just always remember as well that you got to be car behind. You can't run into the back of someone, so always got to have a little bit of conscious to react. No, so if they are going to pit, usually they're on a slightly different line than what they would normally be. So you got to be looking for those sorts of things, not just, yeah, being caught out by yourself.
Yeah, I'd say Adrian's a little bit unfortunate there because we've just had a safety car. You would kind of presume everyone's done their pit stop, they're filled up, that no one's going to be pitting in the next 10, 15 laps. But yeah, you probably got caught out there. It's maybe a little bit different story if you're on your last 2-3 laps on that cycle of fuel, and you know, so you start to suspect someone's going to possibly be pitting any lap. But yeah, unfortunate for both of them.
Yeah, definitely unfortunate. There's still a few good battles going on. Jamie Peters here trying to get his way back up from Little Luxon earlier on. Yeah, he did drive well last night, Sean. I can contest for that. So I can see Jamie had a run here. And I know Jamie's a quicker driver, so just make it easy for him and tuck in behind and enjoy the free ride. We tried.
Well, mate, yourself?
Yeah, not too bad. So Stonestreet's jumped in and joined us now as well.
That's right.
He's going, guys.
Yep, good.
Good. Good.
Usually don't watch this right now with you. Where are we at? Lap 23.
Yeah, definitely ticking them down now. There's 23. Jim Caperonis just in front of Fletcher here. Like you to talk us through a lap, Scotty.
Yeah, for sure. So coming down into the, coming up to the Nicky Lauder turn one, I'm going to try and get the flow off this corner. So braking in between the 100, 150, back into third gear. Get it in nice and tight up onto the curb. Third gear, accelerate. Can get a wheel up on top of that yellow curbing on the left there, but you definitely don't want to be on the opposite side. It'll put you around. Full speed up into sixth gear, try to stay in this draft down here, looking just past the 150, back down. For me, this was a first gear corner where I'd use first gear to get the turn in, short shift to second, apply the throttle very gently and smoothly as you accelerate up the hill. Very easy to wheel spin and lose a ton of ground, but yeah, Jim's got away there nicely, coming down again, sixth gear, looking to brake just after the 150 board, back into second gear. For me, I used to hug it right and tight up over the curb, just exactly as Jim done there. Same again, apply the throttle smoothly up into third, fourth, fifth, get it out over. We're looking to brake it around about the 75 metre, back to third, pick up a little bit of curbing here on the left. Try and keep it smoothly applying the throttle on exit, get that V8 straight, those 650 horsepower down, back to third, short shift back up to fourth, apply the throttle, on down the hill. We're looking for the 100 board down here. It's very hard to sight when you're behind someone, and we've got to keep in that this car may be pitting in front of us, so we've got to allow a bit. Braking at the 100 back to fourth, pick up a little bit of curb on the right hand side here, smoothly apply it, not to understeer as we go down the hill, back to third, get it in close to the yellow cone, and up to fourth gear and back on the throttle to get under the Red Bull sign, and that is a lap here at Red Bull.
Thank you for that, Scotty. There you go, guys.
Perfectly driven, Jim.
Yep.
He drove that very well.
He's doing well.
Not every day, guys, that we get the current champion of Split 1 telling us how to drive, giving us a good track guide. There's Jim. He's putting a bit of pressure on you, Dave.
Yeah, he stayed with us in that time just after that first pit stop, so he was doing really well. Definitely carrying a lot more speed now with him, so good to see him. Good to see him sort of tag along.
He's definitely improving a lot as the season's gone on.
Yeah, he's doing well.
He's definitely sticking with Dave Arney there, and Dave's not too far off Troy, so yeah, hanging in a good pack there, Jim. He's they've got a big gap over Fletcher, who's back and forth, so yeah, it's really a 3-horse race at the moment with the top three checking out a little bit.
I'm just ready on that.
Yeah, I don't know how to say it because I don't want someone else to go get slapped again.
Hey, I need that number. I'll be back in 5 minutes and slap someone to find out what they said.
Start running out again.
And Richard, yeah, the fruit bowl's very big because Gunter throws big parties.
So much so you're suffering from pneumonia for weeks and weeks afterwards. told you to wear a towel, John, but no, you wouldn't listen to me.
Oh, there goes Troy. He's off into the sand.
Yeah, the sniper got me.
Troy, what are you doing out there? You got your shovel and spade, mate. What's going on?
Yeah, I just lost concentration there. I got nothing else but loss of concentration. Don't even know how it happened, really.
You went a little too deep.
Too deep, Gunter.
And Anita's in the wall as well, up at turn 3. A little bit unlucky for Anita.
Hey, Anita, I hate to tell you, but you can't park there.
Yeah, Anita was having a good drive tool then. That's unfortunate.
A little bit unfortunate. And have I missed one here or not? No, I haven't. So Rob's fought his way back. He's up 16 spots. Got Mr. Perrins behind him. Oh! Snap. A little bit of a tap there to push the nose back around, I think. A little bit unlucky. Laurie Saunders taking the high line in turn 1. Pete Kelleher gets another spot. He's worked his way back up to 14th. Great recovery from the earlier incidents.
Yeah, he's done well, Pete, and he's got the Mr. Carl Pickering in his eyesights too now, so head on and he's racing hard.
Yeah, definitely racing hard. And Sean Slater, the man, he's up 19 spots. He's in 7th at the moment. He's driving really well. Very balanced.
I think I've seen a bit of a following for Sean in the chat earlier, so yeah, he's doing well, and 19 spots, that's amazing. It's a great drive by him.
There's Sean, another guy who's had a little bit of bad luck a few times.
It'll be interesting to see what his thought process here. He's right into attacking mode. He's only that 2 tenths behind, so he's definitely looking for a pass, and where he's going to try and set it up. Is it going to be down here at turn 3? Is he going to be close enough to get the drive? Does the car in front have the slipstream of Simon the Faz Farrington to help him along? Or, you know, so all these things are playing in, and it's a matter of time when you know, that's what you're thinking as a driver. Where can I get it done? Where can I do it safely? And am I fast enough to be able to do it, or should I hang behind and just save some fuel, look for an advantage on the next pit stops by saving those couple of litres and maybe a second and get the jump then?
To answer your question, Hamish, yeah, everybody's done one stop. So let's bring up the pit strategy there. So Farrington had tried the undercut. But everyone pretty much running the same strategy on the safety car. Except for Pete Kelleher, who involved in that early accident.
What's interesting is Faz had pitted a couple of laps earlier in front here, so he's going to be that little bit longer in pit lane, and I'm not sure if Sean knows this, but if he just stays in behind and can match his pace, he's going to get a huge advantage come the second round of pit stops and easily jump him. But, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out, and whether he's got any crew or he can see it on any of his apps to know that's happening and evolving in front of him.
What was that?
You'll see. I don't want to see it, he'll get slapped.
Oh, what now?
We haven't got all night off. It's okay, mate.
And
Oh my.
Dave Arney's now under a bit of pressure from Jim. That gap's closed down a little bit.
Yeah, he applied a bit of pressure there for a couple of laps, Jim.
29. A few
What are
boys
you
flying
thinking?
back.
Yeah, what are you thinking here, Dave? Like, you know that Troy's checked out. He went and played in the sand there for a bit. Matty Castle had to play, and you know, and now you've got Jim behind you. He's right on the pace. He's matching your pace. That lap he was 4/10 quicker in the toe. So what are you thinking? You just like still going to run your own race, see how it goes to the second pit stop cycle, see where everyone's at, and see if Jim's still there, if he can match you, or what's your plan from here, mate?
Yeah, pretty much. Just all I was sort of keen to do was just try and keep the car as straight as possible and not excite the tyres, the rear tyres. And if Jim could come with me, then all good, and sort of race, the last sort of 10 to 15 laps and see where everyone is.
Right, so come in those last 10, 15, get your new set of tyres on, light fuel, and just a bolt to the line, and outright pace is going to do it. That sort of, makes sense, mate. It's a good strategy.
Yeah. So just focused on hitting the brake markers, and as I said, like just keeping the car straight, really. So as straight as possible, anyway, out of the exits.
I heard the rumor that you were looking where the helipad was for the chopper to land.
I'll go have another look. I'll be back.
That's for after the race, so you can get to the chopper.
Come on, get to the chopper!
Andrew Galley in this next pack. A bit further back. So Stonestreet goes through. Galley tucked up behind Christensen.
It's a long way for Troy to make that ground back now. It's 6 seconds, or it's 6.5 seconds up there, and so he's got time to do it. But geez, it would be head down, and if you're Fletcher, you'd just be praying to try and hang in the back there and catch his toe and help him take you around, and hope Andrew behind you is going to play ball or not. If these two start fighting, well, that'll disengage them from Troy, and they'll lose that toe, which will cost them that 3/4 tenths of lap.
Yeah, I was hoping Jim would keep hassling Dave, which might help me out in that respect as well. But it was a long way. They were a fair way ahead at this stage.
I could do a lot of things in 6.5 seconds. even play ball and have a cigarette afterwards.
Sometimes it might be good just to call out to the driver in front and say, look, just drive. I'll sit here, we're catching the cars in front.
Oh, Bruce. And just keep it off the wall. That was a lucky one.
He got away with that. He's not having his greatest night, Bruce.
Nah.
Expected to see him a little bit further up than that, but as long as he's having fun and getting around, that's the main thing.
Someone was lurking in the background as soon as he came back on the track.
That's looking for his rejoin.
Lined him back up and it was dun.
Yeah, we are racing in Spielberg, so it would be fitting to have Jaws around.
Exactly right. Just some weird German lurking in the background. Remembering of what happened in Belle Isle.
Joseph Granshaw, he's up into the top 10 now with that move on Jeff. Don't have to worry about me, Roy. You haven't got any money on me.
What's that, Roy? What's he catching a cold? He's already had pneumonia.
It's been a tough few weeks. Of course, we do the two 250k race or 260 at Belle Isle and 300k race, another 250k race. A little bit fatiguing.
It has. It's been a long trek the last three races. Like I said, 260 or 300. Was it 250 here? I thought it was 250.
250 here, yeah.
Yeah, so shorter race next week, a track we can't talk about. But yeah, it's
It's good to see you're showing some respect for Gunter there, Scotty. I'm sure Dave appreciates that.
Yeah, it's only one way to describe it. Shit.
That's just turned 12.
No, shit.
Nothing wrong with Winton.
There's also nothing wrong with setups, but yeah, you think they're shit too, so yeah, what do you do?
So is there one on the bonnet too, is there, Jeff? I saw the one on the back. Sorry, everybody. I've just got to quickly do something here.
This needs to be done.
Yeah, there it is, Gunter on the back.
Look at
And
the ass. Look at the ass. Oh.
popularity is growing. You are
Gunter on the bonnet.
everywhere.
Hang on, let's go to the nose cam. There it is.
Sorry, Jeff. It needs to be right up the front. Remember, it's just the tip, yeah? Right up the front. It needs to be on the tip.
That is gold. I'd love that I actually gave that to him because
That is awesome.
that wasn't me. That's all I'm saying. I know who did Adrian's heels, but this one wasn't me. On the roof too.
That is all over a player. Yeah. Oh.
I don't think Chopper will get that close to see it.
That's
Unfortunately.
because Arnie's stealing it and is trying to fly away.
What have we got, like 34? It's Mr. Slater.
And it's on the roof too. Gunter's on the roof.
Yeah. Of course, next week, retro round as well. Oh, Sean! Can't park there, son.
Yeah, it won't be bringing out the beachy paint because who watches Baywatch these days?
True.
It depends what search engine you're using to search up Baywatch off. That's for sure.
Yeah, well, I was going to put Pamela's airbags on there, but there's not enough car for that.
There definitely isn't not enough of that. But yeah, might
Still
be,
a bit loose there, Sean. He's starting to sound like Borat. Facing Pamela Anderson. So definitely a good battle going on here.
yeah, there might be an issue with iRacing's code of conduct with that one. But,
Yeah.
All starting to spread out a bit up front. So Dave's getting himself a nice comfortable gap. Put it out to 2.6 now, so Jim definitely hasn't come with you, Dave.
He fell off a bit there. I was also sort of keeping an eye on that gap to Troy as well. I knew he was going to be quick, and he'd have the foot down for sure.
Again, that's a bit harsh. Off would need Kit to complete a lap next round.
Oh, this little prick's gonna cop it, I tell you. Hang on.
You can't hit him, Hop. Stop hitting him.
There's more wax going on here than a Chinese massage. Anyway, yeah, so Troy's bringing in that gap. He's gained a bit over a second to you there, Dave. You've got 20 odd laps left, so yeah, a little bit to think about. He's definitely got the foot down, head down. Be interested to see how hard he's pushing those tyres and whether they're going to hold in for the whole stint at that speed.
It was starting to feel them.
And starting to get into the lap traffic now as well.
Well, that's interesting
Really
because
praying for a safety car.
that little bit of lap traffic there just cost you 0.7 of a second, and you got through there relatively easy. So it does add up, but yeah, that was what it cost you.
I guess you get that when you drive off the track into the dirt, don't you?
No, you've done well though. You haven't gone backwards. You got back on, you managed to push on.
Roy's a little bit worried about his investment with you, Dave, and if he feels that I'm putting too much pressure on you, mate. So. Yeah.
He's still holding that gap out at about 2.8, which is where it's been sitting for a fair while.
Yeah, it's just monitoring it. Just also knowing we had another pit stop too, so.
Andrew's had a big drive up to P5, 10 positions gained. It's looking very good on track.
Of course, condolences from everyone at Vets to Andrew for the loss of his mother last week as well. That was the reason why Andrew wasn't racing last week. Andrew's up 10 spots at the moment, which is a good drive. Get himself in the 5th. Sean Slater, he's up 17 spots in the 9th. So that's a pretty good effort from Sean. And the other big move is Jeff Sanford. He's up to 11th. He's up 9 spots. Bit like his jokes in the chat. Simon Clapham, he's up 17 into 14th. So that's a great drive from Simon at the moment. No one's really peeled off for their second stop, so this is pretty genuine pace where people are. Andrew Johnstone, he's up 7 spots in 20 seconds. So there's a few guys on the move. And of course, Jim from Old Mates and Sons, he's up in 5 spots there to be in 2nd, and Christensen's up 5 spots to be in 4th. So a few guys on the move.
The other one of interest is, I know Perrins is down 7 spots from where he started, but he was down a lot more than that earlier, so he's made some good ground, but it'll be interesting to see where his strategy is and where that pulls him out come this second round of stops, but he's definitely on the hunt to try and gain those positions back that he lost early, bonnet missing and all.
Yeah, definitely battling his way back through it all.
The other one is Ed Cullen, down 10 positions in P13. We would normally expect, we've seen him up in the top 3, so he's not having the greatest of nights. Qualified reasonably well by the looks of it, but yeah, struggled with a little bit of race and maybe a bit of activity around him. But yeah, had a bit of a lonely race out there in P13 at the moment, but yeah, I'm sure he'll make some ground and look to recover another position or 2 before checkered flag comes.
Yeah, he caught up in that incident early on in the race. Always makes it quite difficult. But no, still a long way to go. Jeff Sanford, he's under a bit of pressure on Peter Kelleher. So he's another one, like talk about movers and shakers. Like Pete's down 2 spots, but he was, basically qualified in the top 10. He's made his way back from 36, which is a great effort at this stage of the race.
Yeah, he has. He's made big ground since that incident and a couple of other contacts. But yeah, he's driving really well. Looking racy too.
Yep, definitely serving it up. Looking for a move here on Sanford.
It's a hard one to get that move done on the inside. You almost have to really send it and go back to a second gear and hug it in tight and hope that you get a better run on the way out, because it is hard to send. But he's got the run up here, and yeah, coming up to AMS AG, we're sure they're going to get this job done here. a nice pass, and they're going to take it all the way down to turn 4, so it'll be interesting. But
No,
yeah,
not done.
not done. I
Tell
thought
you-
he had that home and hosed.
Gonna get it done this time, mate.
Yeah, he's gone for the lunge.
Yep.
So, side by side, both showing a lot of respect. That's a really good pass, and yeah, move's done.
Some good
Move's
driving.
complete.
Yep. So you're driving with a bit of red mist, Pete? That's probably the question a few people have asked. Because it was a good comeback. And questions being asked in the chat, Dave, has you turned up the heat or has Jim eased off?
I'm not too sure whether Jim eased off or not. I did try and sort of, knowing that pit stops were coming up, I was going to push it a little bit to sort of use up those tyres what I could. But yeah, I think Jim might have fell off a little bit too. So
Sort of coming to the end of the stint at the moment. So seeing Granshaw, Sandford, Patterson and Perrin head into the pits.
I thought it was one of these tracks where if you had clean air, I thought it was easier to be able to be more consistent and make that time. Like you could count on that time and make those laps within 2-3 tenths of what you were running. And I found if you were behind someone, you had to be very careful because you could, that left rear especially would get pretty excited, and the fronts would start to show a little bit of understeer. So you had to sort of respect the aero wash and look after it a little bit and bide your time to make the move. But yeah, in saying that, being out in front, clean air, a lot easier than being in that slipstream burning up tyres.
yeah, that's true.
And Stonestreet in and Galley in.
So if Stonestreet's gone in, this would almost force your hand here, Dave, because you'd be worried about his undercut on you, or are you aware that he's gone in?
Yeah, I did notice that Troy went in, and I was a little bit surprised actually, Troy. But I could see also too that he was probably aiming for that undercut. So
Yeah, I had to try something. I'd used my tyres, couldn't get in rhythm, and I just thought, and I knew that Fletcher was far enough behind that I had a bit of a gap there, so I figured I wasn't really going to lose third place, but it was worth the undercut to try something, because I just wasn't making any ground on you two ahead, and I just didn't feel in rhythm, and I figured I might as well try something.
yeah.
It'll be interesting to see where you come out, Troy, and also be interesting to see when Dave reacts to it. Because at some stage he's going to have to react.
Also seen that they got through a couple of lap cars that were coming up, and I thought it's probably as good a time as any, rather than try and get past the lap cars. And it worked well. I came out in pretty clean air for the first couple of laps.
Christensen's gone in, so Arnie and Caparonis have stayed out. Farrington stayed out. Oh, Bruce not having a good night.
He's having a rough night.
Yep. Jump back up.
Yeah, well, you're lapping pretty consistent at the moment, Dave. So it's one of those things, where do you come out if you do pit? How much fuel are you going to take? Have you been able to save any? Yeah, there's a lot of things going on at the moment, and it really does come down to hitting your marks this last pit stop, not making any errors, especially on your in-lap and on your out-lap. And that's really going to define where Jim and Troy and anyone else is going to be around you and or challenge you, later in the race is how that pit stop unfolds.
Yeah, and that's what I was focusing on too. So just hitting me marks, and I was watching my own sort of times, and I think if I'd sort of committed just to run it right to the when the tank was empty, and then come in at this stage.
So do you know what your fuel burn was, Dave?
3.2 and 3.3. It sort of varied between the two. So.
Yep.
So Faz is in. He's had enough. He said, "That's it. I'm going into pit lane." Grab his fuel for the end of the race, and yeah, new set of tyres. I guess the advantage of running long here too, Dave, is if there is a safety car, you can afford to put in, that 2, 3, 4 litres, even less fuel, and just save wildly while you're behind the safety car. So that's an advantage of 2 or 3 seconds that you can get just by putting in less fuel, being behind a safety car.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. That was certainly going through my head too. So.
Here he comes at the fastest lap with a 1:34.76. Troy Stonestreet. Hammer time.
Yeah, it's purple time. Well done, mate. Nice lap.
Clapham's in as well.
Gunther's back in the top 10.
Yep. I'm very well to recover. And Jim's now peeled off in. You're on your own now, Dave. So you have to be thinking about reacting to that one.
Yeah, I wasn't paying attention to Troy's sort of times or anything like that, so I probably should have, and probably should have done what Jim did, come in straight away.
This is going to be interesting where Jim comes out in relation to Troy, because Troy would have got that, a couple of seconds undercut for sure. So, yeah, this is going to be very interesting, and it looks like Troy's got a clear track in front of him, made good ground. So, yeah, it'll be interesting where Jim comes out, and that's really going to, like John's saying, it's going to force your hand now.
Yeah, definitely. I think you did pretty good out of this, didn't you, Troy?
Did, and then it sort of went a bit pear-shaped with a bit of traffic, which I kind of undid all the... It kind of undid the time, but yeah, definitely got made ground on Jim. That's Jim there.
Yeah, right, side by side with him coming into...
How many seconds were you behind when he was both pitted on Jim?
About 3.5, 4, I think.
It's a good game.
It's a good game. Jim's got the fresher tyres, but he'll be adjusting to the new weight of the fuel, how much grip he's got. So it'll take him a lap to find the groove.
And Dave's now rolled in. All happening. Of course, lap 45 of 58.
Yeah, it sure does, Roy. I'm sure Jim would have wished his Pagani and a teammate could have got in between there a little bit more and held Troy back just for a few corners.
A little bit wide there from Jim, side by side, big dive, contact. Gets control. That's very interesting. There is Mr. Arney. He's rolling out.
Yeah, he's got this covered. Dave's got this
yep.
covered well and truly. Might be a redress coming there from Troy by the looks of it. It'd be interesting to see how the umpires go with it, but no doubt that would have got called in.
Yeah, it got called in, but Jim also apologised at the same time. I thought, well, yeah, we'll just see what happens.
That's all you can do.
Yeah.
Jim's still rolling in the background there, so hasn't lost too many positions. Jeff Sanford's in the pits now.
It's a pretty good gain though from Troy when you over 5 laps, I suppose. And you look at I think it was about 8 seconds between the two of us. It's down to 5, so.
Mm.
Anyway.
Yeah, it'd be head down now, Dave, just trying to make time, and get these last 13 laps done and keep that lead. You know, that's all you'd be thinking of. And if you're anything like me, you'd be working out if he's 2/10 quicker over the last 10 laps. That's 2 seconds, but I'm 3 seconds in front. I should be a second in front come the end of the race. And yeah, that's how I try to work it out.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I was just watching, you know, the time difference sort of drop, or if we keep it the same, and yeah, how many laps are left? So where catch me?
And just answering Jeff Sanford, you went on your own there, mate. I think there was about 4 or 5 guys that were in penalty points trouble. Had to do a trip down the lane.
That's correct. There were quite a few.
I think someone in split 1 had 38, I believe.
But it's not hard to do here.
Nah. No, not hard to do at all.
Yeah, especially once you pick up one and you go, oh, bugger it, I'm going to go for a few faster laps, and you start taking, that little bit extra off the corners that you probably wouldn't normally, because you've blown your bonus points, and then you realise, hey, hang on, have I left enough in the bank in case I get some contact late in the race and not get us, which is quite easy to do. So yeah, you've got to make sure you leave enough there.
Back on with Simon for a little bit. He's got his bonnet back on. He's trying to hunt down Ed Cullen in front of him. Which in Paddo's crosshairs. And we're on lap 47, so I might just check how Hayes is getting on. I think he's still trying to battle his way back down a little bit. So he's trying to chase down Ed Fox. And Sean Slater having a good little battle with Jamie Peters.
It's a hot little battle here, John. These two, they've found themselves together most of the night, so it'll definitely be line honours to one of them, and whoever gets it will feel a sense of satisfaction, because these two have been racing really hard, really well together.
Yeah, it's been a good battle to watch him, actually. Like just keeping an eye on him. But they sort of didn't slow themselves up. That was the thing about these two. Sort of see two cars close together and you go, I hope they start fighting.
If Roy didn't have the inside tip, I'd ask him who's odds-on favourite to get it between them, but I've got a feeling he might know already. And yourself too, John. You're having a good run. I mean, you are 5 seconds behind Jamie, but yeah, you got some clear air there in P9, top 10 at this stage. So, be feeling pretty good about your result and your drive up 5 positions.
Yeah, so far good clean race. Just consistent lap times is what I've basically been working on for a while. Just driving consistently and trying not to make mistakes.
Yeah, and even John Gallen's, he's edging you on. It's time to pull the trigger too, he reckons. So, yeah, I agree, mate.
Yeah. No, it's not all over yet. Yeah, jump back up. Mr. Arney, still at the 5 seconds now, so working your way through this traffic relatively well.
Yeah, just trying to.
There is that tennis ball.
You wouldn't miss it. You know it's there.
I knew it was coming. And I had a feeling there was a fair bit of red mist inside the helmet too.
Yeah, he's back to where he started, so anything from here is a gain, and he's on. You can just look by the car's attitude too, the way he's driving it. You could tell drivers They've got the face on. Like, yeah, a little bit of drift in the rear there. Is a little bit of slide, and yeah, trailed in nicely there, Peter. Well done.
A few people didn't miss it. Scotty Perrins didn't miss it.
he aimed for it. He could hit that dead centre. Sorry, Scotty. Love you, but yeah.
About to say too soon. That is a good livery. And it's a bit like having Gunter, Adrian Zeal behind you with Gunter on the bonnet. Look in the mirror, you see the yellow flash. You know someone's about to serve it up to you.
It's,
And that's another car that's just parked up. Where are we? I've lost him, Mr. Hayes. Can't park there, so that was a request for a tow, which the race control let pass on.
the race control passed on towing and bringing out a safety car.
Yeah.
Okay, that's an interesting one because that does look rather dangerous, and if he can't get out of there, he's anyway.
Yeah.
They have their reasons.
Yeah. So Dave's out to 6 seconds. So he's pulling away from Troy now, Dave.
Yeah, I got stuck behind that crash on that you were just looking at then, and one of undid. That was the one that undid my time. But yeah, Dave, he's just too consistent. I'd love to see his overall lap times. There wouldn't be much difference between the slow and the fastest. He's very consistent all night.
Definitely driven well. And
Yeah.
trying about 50. 2's where I want to go to. And Kelleher's got that gap down to 2.3 seconds now.
Yeah, he's coming for you, John.
Yeah, I know.
And you being the kitchen man, you know there is a target. People want to beat you. Do you?
They all know that. Oh no, it's airtime. See, but see, Jeff Sanford's got the Gunter sticker on now, so I'm just going to jump on here so we can have a good crack here with Pato. I reckon Dave's fallen asleep because we haven't heard from him for a while.
Yeah, he's definitely passed out somewhere.
A good little battle this group. This is Sanford, Clapham, and Patterson. No, it doesn't matter where you are, at 51 or 58, there's still some good battles in the pack. Great to see. And are these boys, Pato going the big dive. Going to get through there as well.
That's a nice move by Pato there. He's coming back at him though. He doesn't want to give it up, Shane. So, yeah.
But good, fair racing though. Oh, everyone giving each other a bit of room. A little battle on track with these guys.
Going at it again. Big sends down the inside, and yeah, really good racing. Good, close, tight racing. Hard spot to get the pass done there. And
nice move by Pato. Sanford's cleared out a little bit on these boys. As we're now on lap 51.
he took a defensive line into turn one there, so yeah, just to make sure he kept that pass in. Yep. So well played there, Pato. Good job. Good racing, Simon. Yeah, you're gonna have to clear this blue flag pretty quick here, John. If you lose half a second or so, that's really going to compromise you. If Peter closes it in fast. And yeah, that's probably not going to work out. Not ideal, is it?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, sort of. Pete gave me a little bit of a door, which I sort of took, and then he came across thinking he was going to give me room on the other side, which I can understand. Couldn't understand why he was coming on the inside. Not that bad, Roy. On the inside, and then sort of going back and watching a couple of laps before he had another car lapping him, and a little bit of a run in, complete opposite to that. So I could see why he made the move that he did. So I could see why he came back across to the right. Because thinking I was on the left, then a couple of laps before, no, he had the opposite happen to him. So anyway, apologies, Peter. I didn't mean to do it.
And from just observing from that, it kind of looked like you might have caught him out a little bit by closing that gap so quick as you did, and you might have thought there was a little bit more time left, you know, to be able to let you pass through safely. And yeah, unfortunate, but that's put Peter right on you, and he's hunting you. He's 3/10 now, and so it's on between you two. So this is going to be a good battle, closest battle on track at the moment. You two.
No autopsy, no foul. Well, it's called a racing incident, boys, anyway, by the stewards. Pete did call it in, so. I did apologise very quickly. Doesn't make Pete's night any better, though. Pete Kelly,
No, it doesn't.
The red mist is
Doesn't
on.
help anyone.
Nah, I didn't mean to do it.
No, it's just, no one means to do it. It's unfortunate.
Look at this. See this red mist coming up behind me. He's having a look. Just let him go. Send it, son.
He's gone for the send.
Take it. You want it? You have it.
That's a beautiful move. Well done. Well played.
That was my thoughts at this stage. I figured I'd still be top 10. Renshaw was 11 seconds behind me. It was a great drive by Joseph too to be sitting in 11th. And I just thought, with a couple of laps to go, just let him go. And I knew he'd pitted a couple of laps earlier, and just hoped that his tyres fell off in that red mist driving. That he might have ripped his tyres up.
Yeah, that's about all you can do at the moment, John, is try and hang in there, and yeah, 5 laps to go, and see if he makes a mistake, and if an opportunity comes your way to reclaim that position back. Otherwise, yeah, consolidate and take P10.
Yeah, and of course, good little battle here still going on with Jamie Peters and John Slater. There's still a couple of battles around the track. The lead boys are all 5, 10, 7 seconds apart. These boys, great little battle. Jamie driving well. Back where he started. Sean up 19 spots. A bit twitchy. He's going to get control of that. Oh.
Is this the invitation Jamie needs here down at turn 3?
For the inside, it's blocked.
Yeah, he's covered it well, hasn't he?
Yeah. And cooked it. That's Slater. He's lost that out of it.
Yeah, he done everything right. Just blew it on the mid corner, lock it up in the rears by the looks of it.
Yeah, a little bit unlucky. Of course, got a ball in front of me. I'm watching here, and smoke as well going. I can only hope for a little bit of lap traffic up ahead. See what could happen.
Yeah, well, we're smoking balls and coming around the Bulls' balls. It's all on here, isn't it? That's
Yep.
a few laps.
2.5 kilo.
I think Sean would be a little dirty on himself for letting Jamie through so easily. They've had a great battle all night, and just to give it up like that, he'll be a little bit dirty.
Mr. Kelleher.
He's starting up a mowing business out there on the grass. He's
Don't know how he kept it off the wall.
he done well, didn't he? He done really well.
He was going in there in a hurry.
That'll be another one dirty. I wonder whether the tyres are starting, like you said, John, starting to let go, been pushing it hard. Be interesting to get Pete's take on that one. Oh, he got the curb. You picked up a bit of curb.
Picked up a curb. I just thought the ball was out. Hey, Gunter having a bit of a battle with Simon Clapham now, so he's in the middle of this little battle pack. Clapham friend, Sanford. Aaron friend just hanging on to the back of this group. Now the guy we haven't said too much about tonight too, Jeff Eddy, he's having a good little battle with Andrew Johnstone. In front of him.
Yeah, he is holding position, hasn't lost or hasn't gained, but if you don't lose positions, you're having a good night out. So yeah, he's doing well, and Jono's up 6 positions. So yeah, good battle between these two.
Yeah, of course, it would be about 5 o'clock in the morning in New York at this stage. Well, another battle we've got, Carl Pickering. He's battling away with Zippy behind him.
We'll have to ask Jono how he likes his eggs, whether they're easy over or sunny side up, or whoever they have them over there in the States.
And continuing on, and we'll jump back up the front now and have a bit of a recap. So Dave Arney now is out to 4.5 seconds. Only 3 laps to go, or two and a half laps to go. So definitely continuing on. Relatively well now, got that in balance. Down under 4 seconds though, but I think might have enough time on his sleeve. And no, Jeff Eddy, this is Jeff Sanford, he's full on, not an expat, he's actually an American. Loves iRacing, loves the V8s, and is an ex, I think it's a 360 or a 410 driver. So, a fair bit of dirt track experience. It's the story with Mr. Eddy. Back Troy Stonestreet, he got that gap to 3.6 now, but we're down to 2 laps. And he's got Caparonis 14 seconds behind. Fletcher is 6 seconds behind Caparonis. So we're starting to see some gaps. Baz is 2.5 behind. Galley's two back behind that. So everyone's quite spread out now in the top 10. Except for Mr. Kelleher, who's got the green mist on again, trying to hunt me back down. I just need a couple of good laps, and his mic's stuffed up. That's a good excuse, Gunter. Thought that might have been coming after last night. Anyway, so that gap was opened up in the top 10. So everyone in the top 10 sort of like spread by a second or more. But we'll keep an eye on Mr. Arney anyway.
Are you saying Gunther blew the foam off his mic last night there, John?
Yeah. So Dave Arney starts the final lap. 3-second lead. Definitely blew something.
Yeah. White flag lap here for Dave Arney. Troy's had a good ground. He's up to 2.8 seconds. So he's made a lot of ground. Good drive to come back. But Dave keeping it consistent. This last lap, just keep it in the bag, get around, take the win, be happy with the result. And with your performance tonight, mate, you're driving really well. What's your thoughts? A little bit of bead of sweat on the brow at the moment just to get it there?
Yeah, just I was really watching. I knew Troy would be pushing it pretty hard, so I think all races trying to keep that car straight really, and not like the rears up. So
yeah, well, you've done a great job of it so far tonight, and you've been strong throughout the race, racing really super consistent. Only a few more corners to go now, and you get to breathe a sigh of relief and get to that checkered flag, mate.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely was. Glad to see it, with the way Troy was coming on strong towards the end there too. So
Yeah, well done. And the way Jim applied the pressure. So last turn, here you go.
Take the words out of Roy Clark's mouth. Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
It's a great result for everyone. I think they everyone did well. So.
And let's go see where this guy is on track for a minute. He's heading up the hill. So Troy Stonestreet's come in second. Jim Caparonis is going to come across the line for third.
It's a good drive by Jim. You'd be happy with that.
Yeah. Teammate Fletcher behind in fourth. So that's 2 in the top 10 for old mates. Faz in fifth.
Yeah,
Andrew
well done,
Galley,
Faz. Good drive.
Andrew Galley in sixth. Jamie Peters, seventh. Great drive from Jamie. Sean Slater in eighth. Ninth, this bloke with a tennis ball behind him. Good recovery, Pete. Get yourself back in the top 10. Joseph Crenshaw in 11th. Ed Cullen, he's fought his way back to 12th, so good recovery. Good recovery from Scotty Parents. Now watch this bloke. This is where the money shot's at. So currently sitting in 15th. Reasonable drive. He's battled. He's up 2 spots for the night. And
Oh, no.
a reincarnation of what happened in the BMW at last turn of Winton.
I'm trying to work out how he done that. That's exceptional.
It is. That is Gunter at his best. And creeps it across the line. And we'll jump back on with Mr. Arney. So that was a great race by everybody. That one. Yeah, you'd have to be pretty happy with that, Dave.
Yeah, I was really glad with that. It's unfortunate, that Troy, went off there halfway through the race, and it would have been good to have a good, good battle with him.
We will one day, mate. No, well done.
Yeah.
Very consistent. Good on you.
Yeah, well deserved that one. And yourself, Troy, in second spot, mate. That sort of helps you with the championship, pushes that along a fair bit.
It'd be interesting to know with that, and because Troy almost had this championship in the bag if he had won tonight, but Dave sort of kept it open a little bit by winning, getting the win, getting those extra few points. So it's going to come down to next round as well, and then obviously the mandatory round in race 10 that we all have to turn up to be counted, really.
Yeah, that's going to be fun, that one. But we'll make it easy for doing a broadcast because we will know who and what and where. So I'm sure the boys will have all the points plugged in so they can do the broadcast live for that. Great burnout. Yeah, Troy, so you're still pretty happy with second, no?
Oh, absolutely, mate. Yeah, it was a good race, good fun. I enjoyed it, had a little battle back, and I was kind of thinking with 10, 12 laps to go, I was thinking, oh well, second's okay, no real harm done, and then I got a little sniff towards the end. Obviously, Dave was probably just driving very safe because he knew he had in the bag, but it's good. The
Awesome.
championship's still alive.
Yeah, well and truly still alive. I guess we'll start with you, Troy. Anyone you want to give a shout out to?
Just all the sponsors again, mate, and congratulations to Dave. Like I said, very consistent. His lap times were super consistent all night. So thanks to the broadcast guys, all you guys for commentating, do a great job. And all the other races, it was again an enjoyable night. So thanks a lot.
Too easy, Troy. And you, Dave, anyone you want to give a shout out to?
Oh, yeah, just guys at Team P Pacific Esports Racing. They sort of help me each week along the way. Their sponsors are Lake Edge Holiday Units and W Energy. As Troy said, all the series sponsors. And the committee, race control, and a bit of a shout out to Peter Vanderkroon too. I think is that does the super vets.
Yeah, absolutely. So good
job,
Pete.
Amazing job with that.
Yeah, and it's really interesting, and it brings a bit of a different side to it, which is really good.
Still looking at potentially using the rating system for rankings for next season instead of the old prequel. So it'd be interesting to see. Decisions still to be made by the committee and management, but yeah, that's something we're thinking about. We sort of led with it this season, and I think it's worked really well. We sort of look at where everyone is in all their splits. So next week, boys, we've got retro round at Winton. We're going from 250Ks to 150Ks. Any thoughts about Winton that are nice?
Well, I'll start off with a nice thing about Winton. I actually like the track. I think it's a really tough track. It doesn't let up. There's not many turns, but every turn matters and it flows into the next one. So you don't really get a break. Maybe on the front straight, you might get 20 seconds at most. And yeah, it's one of those tracks where you can make a pass, but you have to be committed. You have to get the run and set it up. And tyre life is something that's going to be considering. It'll be a one-stop race potentially, and it'll be interesting to see how the strategies go, how desperate drivers are, or whether they're just happy to get around Winton and let's move on to the final round. So it'll be interesting to see how they play it.
Of course,
total different kettle of fish to this one. This track, it's you spend half the lap in 6th gear here and about 2 seconds in 6th gear at Winton.
And as long as you all know how to get on the skid pan, that's all that really matters. Winton, very good track, only an hour down the road from me. One of the first tracks where I've actually saw live motorsport at, or first saw the supercars at. It's a good facility for the country of Victoria, and I think certain driver in Split 1 was quite influential in getting it scanned and getting it into iRacing, which I think is quite fantastic. And when you sort of go and have a good look at the model and look at the buildings around the track, right down to the phone number on the donut van, it's pretty impressive what they've done for us in regards to scanning that and scanning Sandown. And I know there's more tracks coming, but it's great that we've got some Australian tracks in the system. That's my thoughts on it. And of course, retro round, I've got a weekend of doing paints for a bunch of drivers again. Hoffy's telling me he's not going to run the Beachy, so changes the game a little bit. And on that note, we might wrap up the broadcast. Big thank you again to the race control boys in all 3 splits. Dave Coleman for looking after those guys, the racing committee, Luke Holland, who does a hell of a lot in the background these days. We don't see much from Luke or hear much from Luke anymore, but he's definitely still heavily involved. And of course, everybody out in the chat. It's really good to do this on a Friday night. We get nearly 30 people in there. Most of them are in there chatting away. So if you haven't liked or subscribed, please make sure you do to our YouTube channel. Love to get Bet's channel up above what I've got for WKMP. Big thank you, of course, to Hoffy, Dave Arney, Gunter, Joshy Drage, Mark Dial, Scotty Gamble, Troy Stonestreet, and a few of the other boys that dropped in and out. It's you guys coming in and having a chat that makes this format on a Friday night really work well. So on that note, we'll close the broadcast and see everybody again next week.
Just before you close it out, I have found the GDHO that Norm Beachy actually raced.
You have?
I have, yeah.
Cool. Whereabouts is it?
I just looked up Norm Beachy for it and it's come up with a few images.
There you go.
So, yeah, it'll be on the Mustang.
It'll be on the Mustang. Righto. He's making me work. Yep.
Yeah, and big shout out to you, John, for getting this up and running for the Split 3 guys. You put a lot of work and effort and time and love and passion into this. So, yeah, all the Split 3 and Split 3, 2s and Split 1 drivers, the whole Vets League get behind you with it. So, yeah, big shout out to you and thanks for running this for everyone. So you get a broadcast.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah,
Totally
awesome
agree.
job,
Thanks,
John.
John.
Thanks, mate.
No worries, guys. And on that note, we'll wrap her up and we'll see everybody again next week. Night all.
Good night.
Thanks, guys.